Who's the doc that he told you to go see? Who's the doc that he told you to go see?
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
Hold the fuck up.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
Who's the doc that he told you to go see?
Excuse me. Did this motherfucker get a drop?
It seemed that
Two, actually.
That was kind of dope.
What?
Flip.
I don't care.
Flip what? You flip? Don't look at Flip. Stand on some. Finally.
And we give you an analog, custom, a la carte drop every single episode.
Hey, yo, you standing?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, are you standing with that?
Yeah.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. At this point, seeing the little bars that they continue to take at each other is funny because it's on high school timing. You can't tell me that Joe didn't have every intention in the world of frustrating Melissa and Flip about the drop. And then to give Marc 2 drops. And then Marc has the incredulous look on his face like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, I keep telling y'all, I'm going to continue to tell y'all, Parks does not mess with Melissa by any means whatsoever. It was clear as day that she was getting emotional over the job. She was tearing up. She was frustrated. And the first thing Park says to her, you do have a drop. Talking about Melissa Ford drives a Honda Accord from Game. And then he's like, we give you acapella drops every single day off the head. Flipping mail. The initial drop we gave you was a piece of shit. Talking about you got, I don't even want to repeat it. That's why you don't hear it anymore on the pod. But before I get into why Melissa and Flip should be frustrated, I did find it rather funny that as soon as Melissa got frustrated, she looked to Flip to start speaking for her in her frustration. If it was aimed at Flip, she would have let the whole world know how she felt. But when they're in it together, she expects Flip to speak for the both of them. Flip, I hope you paid attention to that. Because you were on your stance of not caring at first until she stayed on it and you saw her getting emotional over it. And then all of a sudden you care. No, sir. This is a game that these pretty ass women play with us. They'll manipulate our emotions. They'll manipulate how we react to them to get things that they want from everybody else in life. So I hope you're not falling straight into that pit. But anyway, let's get back onto why you did have a actual reason to be frustrated. We've been on here for 3 years. We've been on this show for 3 years. And we haven't had a consistent drop. Although Parks does have a point. Y'all do acapella our drops every single episode. So there is credence to what he's saying. But we've been here for 3 years. We are more notorious or the more known faces out of us being Melissa and Flip, and Ish and Ice. Out of the 4 of us, we're the 2 most known faces. We may not be the 2 most popular faces. That might be Ish and Flip. That might be Ish and Mel. Might be however y'all feel about that. How come we don't have a drop on the biggest show in the world, according to Joe Budden, but the biggest podcast in the urban media space, according to Elevation? The toxicity. All of this affects everyone at every workplace that they have ever been at. How many of y'all have quit jobs before? And then go back and tell me how many of y'all have quit jobs because of certain people that worked at the space. A lot of people don't quit jobs because the work itself is terrible. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say the vast majority of the people don't quit jobs because the work itself sucks. It's the people that they surround themselves with at work. Is the environment toxic? Do I have a micromanagement team above me? All these things come into play. Joe's micromanagement is terrible. He lets them know 24/7 on the pod what they're doing wrong. Now on this BTS, they're doing report cards and shit. Ian is really trying to push this report card shit. None of them care about that shit, even though they should be paying attention to it. A lot of it is for content, but a lot of it is how these niggas really feel. They have made talking about your performance a part of the podcast. That's how much they feel y'all aren't doing what y'all supposed to be doing on the podcast. All of this comes into play. This is just another cherry on top. They don't just have one cherry on top of that cake. It got like 4 or 5. We're going to keep adding to it until the weight of the cherries makes the cake inedible. We can't even eat the cake no more. There's no more cake. It's more cherries than cake. Got this. I actually watched the BTS today, and I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. I'm going to pay attention. They might be throwing some little snippets in here. Sure enough, Melissa blaming other people. I heard her getting her report card. She blaming other people for why her report card the way it is. Flip don't even participate in BTS, but then they'll be the two main ones that want to know why we don't have drops on the podcast. Well, Flip, I can answer that question quickly, which is why he doesn't care. He's getting right back on his tirades of not wanting to be on the show anymore. Oh, I quit. This is going to be the last year you see me. And Joe and Ian finally got fed up with Melissa trying to put more focus onto the Hot and Bothered podcast than on the JBP, that they're like, you know what, we don't give a damn if she has a drop or not. We don't. You want to be the face so bad, you just want to sit there and be pretty, go ahead and just do that. We aren't paying attention to your thoughts and feelings anymore. She was genuinely about to cry over this, y'all. And I'm not going to say rightfully so, but yeah, she has a reason to be peeved. Now there's a whole new dynamic that we got to pay attention to going forward. Ice versus Marc Lamont Hill. Ice keeps getting all his shots off, subliminally, of course, towards Marc Lamont Hill and his performance and how it is that we view him and how he's viewed, because he just came type shit. Even though Marc's been here for months already, he just came, so we're looking at him in that light still. Ice, after this last power performance, I don't want you to critique anything intellectually or academically that Marc Lamont Hill talks about. Please, sir, shut the entire fuck up. You and Ish. Because I would have been with y'all on that flat earth shit. I would have been with y'all until Ish started talking about he didn't think Antarctica was at the southernmost point of the earth or whatever he was trying to say. He couldn't even articulate himself correctly. Guys, just to switch topics again, if I was to say anything space related, I would start with the moon, but then I would quickly go to the space station. I would quickly go to that. And my brother and I, because we were speaking on this shit yesterday, I actually looked it up. They say the space station orbits around the Earth every 92 minutes. That's an hour and a half. And the speeds it reaches is 17,000 miles per hour. You can look this up on Google. It says this. How do we even have something to propel any object that fast, let alone the fuel source for it, and let alone what type of fuel we would use for that? These are my questions. So I'm not mad at people having the flat earth questions and responses. It's just we got to change our questions, because everybody has already figured out how to debunk we haven't been to the moon, or the earth is flat. No, we got to start asking different questions, because I'm with y'all. I question scientific theory, because everybody says science is proof, and I've constantly said no, science is changing. Science is the truth of now until we figure out something differently. But y'all don't get the opportunity to speak on Marc and his intellect anymore, because y'all don't even know how to articulate thoughts y'all have. But y'all staunchly stand in these thoughts. Which brings me back to Ice and how he is talking about Marc Lamont Hill like he is putting the work on the podcast to speak like this. Ice, you should not have the audacity to talk to anybody up there or that watches the pod in the way you do. Especially with the take that you have on snitching. Boy, and I can tell you this, Ice, Joe is absolutely still fed up that your bitch ass turned him over to the police, because that's not something a brother would do. So I've said this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what skeletons you have of Joe's in your closet that you're hiding from him, but eventually that cachet isn't going to hold weight anymore. He's going to start to realize the fucking cornball you really are. He's going to start to get frustrated like, ugh. Why is this nigga on my team? And here it is. I done gave this nigga a voice and a face. But, as always, y'all, letting me ramble off my thoughts. This is a big deal, but it's not a big deal as far as the drop is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, because Marc does deserve a drop. We do want Marc to be here for years going forward, down the line already. We've already cemented that. We're still up in the air about the two of y'all, which makes no sense, because y'all have the name and the voice, the voice, and the face, hell, to be a part of this podcast for years to come without any questions coming up as to why y'all are still here. And the drop should be the very least of your concerns. The fact that Marc even came after y'all arrival is a concern of mine. Y'all gotta start looking at everything in its totality. Why is this happening? Oh, because this happened. And this happened because this happened. Like, everything's a domino effect. Everything lines up one after the other. Decisions that y'all make and how y'all pod and how y'all affect the JBP is gonna determine the decisions that are made going forward. Simple as that. Marc Lamont Hill showed his ass off. He's getting all the praise. He's getting all the perks. He's getting the drops. He'll probably get to speak on a bonus. I would not be surprised if they start speaking on Marc Lamont Hill's bonus in the next month or so. So the drop is the very least of y'all concerns. But anyway, just another rambling ass nigga on the internet. Doesn't know what he's talking about. Everything I speak about is speculation, conjecture. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have no clue. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video as always. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you have it. If you have, you already know it's much appreciated. Till tomorrow, y'all be safe out here. Peace.